Yo, yo,
Hey,
yo. We back again, Brian.
we in this
Episode
thing.
2, baby. We back in this
We have a
today,
legend with us today,
right?
yo.
We got a legend in the game of flag football. We've got the GOAT, the sensei, the woman herself, Vanita Krouch, with us today. I need a round of applause. How you doing today?
Well, I'm a little tired, but I'm good.
A little
I'm good.
tired.
Yeah.
It's been
Getting
a
back
lot.
into reality and teaching again.
Right. It's been a lot of travel for you over the last couple months, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since Tampa, really, every weekend.
Tampa.
Oh, wow.
And
Wow.
every weekend moving forward, except for this weekend, I'll be in town. But after that, it's like bam, bam, bam till spring break.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's a lot of moving and grooving.
Before we move too fast, I don't want to forget to introduce my guy. This is. I said we had one goat. We got two goats on here. This guy here is a goat when it comes to coaching and building teams. This guy here is. There's not one better than him to me, in my opinion.
He's the only one I know to have Hall of Fame. That's what got me interested in playing flags.
Right. This guy, the goat himself, Mr. Nathan Williams. Appreciate you being on the show today, brother.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
Yes, sir. So, V, talk to us a little bit about this experience that you've had over the last few months.
I think the experience was crazy to be a part of. It was amazing. I feel so blessed and grateful for it. The thought that when saying like this is such a dream come true, I've come to realize it's not a dream come true. I'm living in a dream, and I'm so grateful to be here and to be on this platform, bring our game to the stage, meet these guys, teach them about the game, because it's quite interesting. A lot of them are not familiar with the flag football language.
Right.
So, no, it was a crazy experience.
Yeah, I noticed that myself, just kind of spending a little bit of time out there with them as well. They were all like shocked and like they didn't really understand it at all. You could tell this.
They couldn't even put on their belts.
Yeah, you could tell that. I looked over across the field and I see V. She's over there holding up the belts, like trying to put them on, taking them off. Like, no, that you need to turn that around. That goes this way. They're like, man, I don't know nothing about these flags or whatnot.
Yeah.
It was just crazy to see.
And then the NFL, they didn't realize like we don't wear pockets.
Right.
And they were provided shorts with pockets. I'm sure that's a future fix.
Yeah, I had seen that during the game. I was like, they got pockets on. I was like, hope they don't break their finger.
Yeah, that would be the one injury that would be common to happen in that game.
Yeah.
Right. And obviously we're doing flag to prevent injury, so we definitely don't want to have people breaking fingers and things of that nature. That's crazy.
So, what's one thing that you didn't realize flag players have that the NFL players don't?
That flag players have that the NFL players don't? Well, definitely just honestly the knowledge of the game they don't have because they don't grow up with that as their pathway to the NFL. I mean, they're like tackle and peewee and tackle in junior high and middle school. And so everything was tackle. So the grasp onto the fact that, whoa, I can't check this dude off the line for 5 and I have to pull his flag. Or you would still watch them play and they drop that shoulder for that protection, like someone's about to hit me. And that's kind of a flag guard almost charging in our world. So there's a lot of just those minor rules that we'd all know. It's a finesse movement, just don't touch me at all game.
Yeah.
And they're like, let me just kind of plow through you a little bit. And it happens sometimes. They forgot for the moment when Hill got leveled at the goal line.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ramsey ran through him all.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
That was dope. See, I didn't think that was really a tackle. Like, I know me and you talked about that. I didn't feel like then they threw a flag on that.
I wouldn't see it as a tackle because it was a pitchback, but
Yeah.
like he ran that. He ran
got him
through
pretty
him.
good. He
Yeah.
got
It was
pretty good.
kind of in the moment of the game. It looked like a tackle, but on replay, going back and watching, it was like, oh, I see that
Yeah.
ladder.
He went for the flag.
Threw
and
off
just
the
kinda-
momentum, and he was like, I just got to
Right,
go.
right.
And Tyreek Hill is about my size, and it
Right.
just kind of
Was it like, I'm sure you were starstruck by like seeing some of these guys? I mean, or was it like, oh, these are guys just regular people? Like,
No, I was 1,000% starstruck,
Right.
but as the OC and kind of like on a business mindset, I didn't want to act all, NFL fangirling. You know what I mean? I was
yeah,
just
you
kind
don't
of like,
want to think,
the first person I walked in when I checked in, and it was just crazy that I finally got there. Nate talked to me the whole time. He was like, check your flight. We're iced in, check your flight. And I was canceled the first night, so I was freaking out like, this opportunity and just a chance to just be out here is going to be robbed from this weather or just be
Yeah.
late.
I thought the same thing.
But luckily I got out. And so the first dude I saw walking in, it was Kittle. And I just was like, and I just
Yeah.
gave him a head nod and
Yeah.
just walked on about my business. So for about the first day and a half, internally, I was super starstruck, right? These are the
Yeah.
best of the best. You're seeing, CeeDee Lamb, you're seeing McCaffrey and Geno Smith, and I was just like, whoa. But I just kind of acted cool, gave him dab. The one thing I did have to do as I met these guys is I tried to give them the personal space of staying business, but I also had to kind of go out of the box of who I am sometimes, where I like to just sit back and watch things, and I had to be more extroverted and step out the box and say, hey, I'm Vanita, nice to meet you, I'm your OC.
Right.
And I told them who I was, like with assertiveness. So I was like, yeah, I got this. But inside I'm like,
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
I saw you on the sideline. You seemed real like you were like part of the crew. Like you were nowhere near like fangirls or fan whatever. Like
Yeah.
you just felt like you belonged there.
Did that
Like,
take time to lead up to being that comfortable, like within the practices y'all had to get ready for the games?
Well, once we got into the flag world, you're in your world. So it's
Yeah.
such a second language to you. It's such a native language. Not second. It's a native language is like, boom, I know this,
Yeah.
right? So it was like a different type of aura and confidence came out. But in all honesty, though, we only had one practice, and it was pretty much like a media practice in a way
Oh wow, okay.
of walking through stuff. So we didn't really, we had a 2-hour session, and, we had a players and coaches meeting. We briefed them about flag rules and some concepts. But I think just being able to speak in the auditorium, the ballroom where we had our meeting, kind of showed some confidence. Like, oh, she knows what she's talking about. She understands the game. So
Okay,
then they started
cool.
to feed into me, and they came to me and said, Coach, can we do this? I know that's 4 seconds. So they're on the sideline going, 1 bud, 2 bud, 3 bud, 4 bud, 5. And then, Hintley still had the ball. And they're like, call that. But, they started to really lock in. So it took a second to feel like one of the boys,
Yeah.
but I just had to show them that.
Yeah, I felt like that because I caught the very last game, and I felt they were locked in that last one, especially. And I want to say you called that play on the goal line with a pitch when the rusher came, and I think it was for the extra point or the touchdown.
Like the double pitch?
It might have been, but it was literally he hiked it, center turn around, and it was right there.
No, I didn't call them. I drew in plays that Eli called in. That one particularly was not from mine, but the boys knew that they could take our stuff and improvise it for
Okay,
what they
cool.
felt the flow of, because we didn't have a play with the two hook and ladder type of in the backfield. It threw them all off when we scored the touchdown. That was something Geno Smith and I talked about, and he was like, yeah, we just decided to just do it. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
The one play that was funny to me that I did get called in was the extra point that Kittle did a back drag and dropped it.
Mm.
Oh,
And I was
I know
like,
what
dude,
you're
that's
talking
my
about.
play. He's
Yeah.
like, my bad, coach. I was like, so it was a wide open play. He knew he should
Yeah.
have caught that, but no. The boys made some of their own adjustments as they learned the game. Like game 1 was like an all offensive game. Game 2 was like, hey, we got to change this. And game 3, by the time Cousins went in for us, it was like, okay, I kind of understand what flag looks like.
Yeah, they was pulling some flags. I was like, I was surprised at how well they
too,
was
dude. I was
pulling
like, man, these
flags.
dudes actually pulling flags. Like,
Yeah.
how much like pull did you have in the play calling?
Well, originally Eli and I, we did a players coach meeting beforehand, well, coach to coach meeting, and him and I had a FaceTime, which was like, I'm on a FaceTime with Eli. And that was really cool. But he was so fun to work with and just comfortable. And at first he was like, no, you call it in, right? But I'm sure through his name and presence and being under the NFL, he probably had other rules he had to follow. And so he ended up calling everything in, but I kind of stuck by his side, listened to the plays he called in. He'd call we had like 3 sheets of cards, like the A plays, the B plays, and the C plays. And the C ones were the ones that I had turned in from kind of our flag world. And it was really cool because a lot of the dudes really enjoyed the C plays because they're like, oh, I want that route, because it was like post corner pose, it was like slant fade stop, and a slow go. And then so they were like, I really want that, because I guess probably to them in the NFL world with being like touched off the line, they can't run triple and double routes as frequently,
Yeah,
Right.
So they were excited. They were super excited about the C plays and one of those, and that was really cool.
So what was your favorite C play that got called in by Eli?
They really liked C5, and there was like a corner post from the right slot. Terry ran it for us. I don't know if and it didn't connect because I think we got fire blitz. So I was like, and that just changes
Yeah.
up the whole play when they utilize that one little fire blitz right off the line. But it was just cool to just be out there and see it and see them play our game and run some of those routes and everything. Like CeeDee Lamb was like, I really want to run that route. And so I just felt like, hey, that's cool. They get it. And I run into them like at post things like at the Super Bowl weekend. And, they were like, man, that was really fun. I can't wait. Like when I'm done with tackle, I'm going to go to flag. And I was like, CD, you got a spot with me. Come on.
Yeah. So during, how much did you throw with them during warm-ups?
I wanted to throw at them, and I kind of felt like a dork because I had my cleats on. Like, I was like, I'm ready to show y'all how to roll out and hit this ball and how my play kind of looks executed. But that's just me kind of being, I'd rather be over-prepared than under-prepared.
Right.
So I didn't know what would be expected. And, Eli's like, don't expect too much because it's just going to be a loose, messy practice because there's going to be so many videos and interviews and cameramen and stuff like that going on. But I was ready. They were like, I see you, coach, with the cleats. I was like, that's right.
Yeah.
So no, I didn't throw because I wanted to stay professional with it.
Yeah.
But, like, Peyton Manning's son came to our practice and he threw at the boys a little bit. And I was like, I want to be
Right.
there. But I just kind of kept it cool.
I'm not even gonna lie. I was pretty prepared to see you actually sling that thing a few times. To be honest with you,
I was ready.
yeah,
I was ready.
Yeah.
So what? Because I saw you at the Pro Bowl, obviously, and then Saturday you came out to the NFL Youth Flag Games. You and Diana. What was the biggest thing that you took away from that, from seeing all those girls play?
The biggest thing I took away from that is really what you just said, seeing that many girls playing. You go to the different tournaments throughout the year and everything, and you kind of see small, snippets of youth, a little bit here, a little bit here, but this is like their, big dance and the big show for them. And to see all those teams, and a lot of them I recognize from like USA Football Combine the summer before, a little bit from Tampa. Some I went to speak and, introduce myself and introduce high school girls football. Like I just came back from the New York Jets and I did a opening with them. I did something with the Minnesota Vikings and spoke to the girls. And so to see all of that kind of collectively at one place and playing some freaking good football, I was just like, this is awesome. And there's a huge pathway, and the visibility of it is amazing. And how I always feel with flag football, it's so inclusive of a sport. You have all these big dudes and little dudes and big girls and little girls, and some a little bit heavier, some a little bit skinnier, but they're all so freaking effective in flag football. And that's what I kind of love about the sport, that there's not anybody who can't play it.
Right.
Yeah.
This is one of those sports it doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, you can still get out there and play. I remember when I first started playing, like, I haven't been playing nowhere near as long as you, not nowhere near as good as you, but I've been playing for the last like 6 years, and I remember like lining up. I forget who it was. It was a whole guy, like big guy, and I was like, man, this guy's still playing out here. Like, he barely moving around. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. This is like a crazy game that you can be, as young as 5 or 6 and be as old as 60 years old out here playing. I think that's what makes this game like really dynamic and a lot different from a lot of the other games out there. And yeah, it's crazy.
From because we see flag all the time here in Dallas, and you've been playing flag for a while now. When you first started, did you ever see it getting to where it is now?
No, absolutely not. I would have never thought this would be shaping the adult that I've become and the friends and relationships that I've, grown in this. And so, no, I started out in Rockwall 4-on-4 with the boys, just trying to be a receiver. And it was just something to do away from basketball. So, no, I just played it, met some friends, played in another league, and met some people that were like, when I finally kind of played in Rockwall, went into the Christian Sports League, and then from there, when I had met like Black and George and Chad and Chris and stuff, they were like, hey, you need to go to nationals. I was like, go to what? And they're like, no, these girls from Mexico, they've been balling forever. Y'all need to go there. And so slowly you start hearing about this national talk, and you're like, okay, let's see what it's about. Get out of Texas and play some football. And no, I never knew it would be on this stage. And honestly, I wish I knew it would be on this stage a lot sooner, because I want to say USA football started in about 2009, 10, 11, 12, somewhere in that era, right? I didn't hear about it in 2016. So I was like, darn, I kind of missed my prime a little bit on a physicality stance, right? With like movements and bursts and stuff. But on an IQ and arm, I feel, still in the game. But I was like, no, if I would have known USA football and the stage that this is at and the platform it was heading to, man, it would be sometimes to be a different ball game if I could play how I physically could play back then.
So kind of jumping back, we kind of going back in time a little bit here. How did you find the flag world? Like, I know you played basketball in college. Like, how did you get here to this flag football?
Google.
Really? It's that easy, right?
It was that easy. Shantae, she's one of my SMU teammates, and we kind of just got bored with basketball. And she was like we played those adult leagues, going out to Euless, going out to McKinney every Monday night, every Sunday, evening and things like that. And finally, it was kind of like, is there something else we can look into? And like adult sports. And I think just flag football popped up and we're like, you know what? How hard is it? Move and catch a ball. I think eye-hand coordination kind of translates from basketball and many sports. And just a simple Google search.
So in comparison now, back then, I hear that you were one of the only women playing. Is that correct? Like, what does that difference look like now from back when you started playing to as far as females go?
I would say that's night and day. When we first started, all I knew about football was Shantae and I going out to play, and we played with my brother, and that's how we met Chris out there because he was a referee out at Rockwall, and he was like, "You guys are pretty good," and we stayed to, when you're such a competitive person your whole life, you stay to watch the game to be as better and as smart as you can be. Like I said, with the inclusive part of it, I may not be bigger, faster, stronger than dudes, but what stops our IQ from being different from them, right? Or being in the position I'm asked to be in. So from there, it was just Shantae and I for the longest time. And then we entered another men's league. We entered men's tournaments. And I think somewhere along the line, that's when we had met Cassie. And then we played with Cassie and like Mel at was it called Let It Fly? And then from Let It Fly, we met some other players in the Christian League. And that introduced a whole world of like, oh, there's some other female players and just more football. And I think from there, eventually Texas Nine-Man came and it was like a lot of women started to come out. It started out from like maybe 4 or 5 teams to like a lot more. And that was just the Sunday thing to do. I don't know if you guys know about Texas Nine-Man back in the day.
No. I've heard a lot of stories.
Fresh used to tell me about it.
Yeah.
That is the birth of flag football, I feel like, in the DFW area. I mean, that was just like you got there 8 a.m., you left at 9 p.m. It was just an all-day thing. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's a long day.
So
So to see the woman now with where it is, it's crazy. Day and night, 1,000%.
So where international have you traveled over the years for flag football?
Canada, up in Duncan, I've gone there. Montreal, I think it was, or up in above the New York area. I don't know, Montreal, whatever. I played up in there. Germany, Mexico, the Bahamas, and I think those are the main ones I can think of internationally right now.
Okay. What's been your favorite international spot to play flag football in, and why?
There's different reasons. I love Canada because of the people, and they're just so nice. The field is huge. It's like the size of an NFL field, adding the sidelines, playing 7-on-7, 3 downs for 10 yards, a 5-yard rush. It's just the rules are unique, right? So I love that tournament for the people, the culture, the location. If you're talking about like a huge, like a Coachella level type of flag football, that would be in Texaco. And yeah.
What's that? Is it Mexico?
It's in Mexico, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's usually ran about right before Thanksgiving. It's usually the weekend before Thanksgiving. And just seeing the way the country runs flag football there, everyone thinks Mexico plays soccer, right? It's just the stereotype, the stigma. And it's like, I actually think they might play flag football way more than soccer.
I was telling Brian that I was like, I don't think y'all understand that Mexico probably plays flag football more than we play flag football here.
They really might.
And the support is crazy out there. I'm just looking at it from a social media standpoint. I'm like, I can see the difference. It's almost night and day between like how much that we play here and how much they play there, and just kind of the support, things of that nature.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So if you guys ever go to Texaco, it's coming back since COVID and time, and I think people are really talking about it. I know Hoosh and them have gone down there to play, and that was probably that is the first time we ever lost a 7-man game was out in Texaco against like White Blancas. We beat ourselves, missed some flags, but that was the first loss we ever had in I think almost 6 or 7 years of straight winning 7-on-7 division. But that's before 5-on-5 blew up. So if you were to think of how Coachella is as a music festival, that's literally the audience and crowd and the engagement in a flag football stance at Texaco. Like you don't even see your sideline. The humans are your sideline.
That's
so
cool.
It's really cool.
I
think it was Webb. I think
Webb.
Webb. I seen he had a one-handed catcher interception.
That must have been that place.
And it was just
a ton of people. That was it.
Yeah.
There was a ton of folks out there. I was like, dang, dude, why so many people at that?
Do you
football
think
game?
Because we have tackle football here, and I know they have tackle football in Mexico, but with you growing the women's sport of flag and getting it out there, and it's in Mexico, do you think they have that backing because they have more of a focus on women's flag football than we do in America?
More of a focus on it. I don't know. I'm kind of mixed about it. I in some ways, they're almost a little bit of a pioneer in the women's flag football before us, only because I've heard about them for a really long time, and they've been breeding young female athletes in flag from 4, 5, 6 years old, and it's kind of how I feel like with Texas high school football for girls versus Florida. I've always heard Florida had high school football, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, why doesn't Texas have that,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
we're a Texas, we're a football state. Why don't we have that? So in translation to like Mexico and their exposure, they've been growing and breeding female flag athletes since they could walk,
Yeah.
and it's great for them. And then they can actually grow and pursue it as a pipeline because their pipeline connects into the university level. We're behind in the game, in my opinion, and we're getting there.
Mhm.
The visibility is getting there. NAIA, the NFL backing it, USA Football. They're making everything more transparent. We're getting there, but we're behind too. And that
Right.
sounds weird to say that.
No, I think that makes sense because you can kind of see how behind we are. And Nate, you might be able to touch on this with seeing some of the world championships through USA flag football at the travel circuit and not just the USA circuit. When they bring USA together and the Americans together, you can kind of see like we have athletes, but then you see the Mexico side and it's like they have athletes, the coaching, and they also have the experience. Like a lot of our younger ladies here, they don't get that big experience of the bigger tournaments, and sometimes, and it was my very first big tournament was in Arlington. I'm new to flag. I've been in Texas 5 years, and I've only been around it 5 years. So when I first met this lady, this little girl, she's like, "Yeah, I'm from Mexico City." I'm like, "Yo, that's insane. I didn't even know they did that there." But when I seen them play, I'm like, man, I feel like they've been playing for a while.
Right.
And I only knew Texas Fury, and
Yeah.
I'm like, they giving them some of the business, but Texas Fury ended up coming out on top. But y'all might be able to touch on more than I would because I'm still new to it. But
Yeah, to even like to V's point, like Mexico and Panama, they breed all as soon as they're born, they're playing flag football. That's all they're playing year round. They go to college, they play flag football. With us, it's difficult because Texas is the biggest. Texas is one of the biggest states,
yeah,
and they can't even, like the girls, Texas Fury girls, they can't even play football here. They can't even play football in high school. So so it's counterproductive because they have to leave the state to go play football to get opportunities for college. And that's where it's starting to, there's a lot more NIA schools, there's NERSA, but we still have a long way to go to get caught back up for the future. Because like I said, if we'll just say if Diana's playing flag football 7 days a week and we can only play 4 days a week because we have, people have jobs, people have lives.
Exactly.
But if that's her job, then obviously, it's gonna sooner or later it's gonna create an advantage for her until we create the same opportunities for our women and for our young girls as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can't play, and there's no high school flag here.
Yeah, I mean it's not a high school sport right now.
Right.
Not
Even
totally. I think Fort Worth-
or college.
I want to say Fort Worth has started.
Yeah, I think that's.
I know
I
they're
did see
trying.
that. I did see Fort Worth.
I'm sorry. I digress. I was meaning college. So you can't play. There's no college.
Yeah, there's
here.
no college here.
Man,
and
there's
even
not one college that you
even
can
like
play?
with signing day, I know Hutch, her school
Yeah,
allowed
it's
her
just-
to do it, but Ashley Clam can't do that. Lauren Clark couldn't do that. So it's their high schools, they won't allow them to participate in signing day because they don't really recognize it. And it's disappointing because a lot of those girls are getting equal or higher scholarships than their counterparts. But that's something that I know that they're working on. But it is, like I said, right now that's one of the biggest opportunities is you can be a 5-star athlete, but if you always have to leave your own state to grow and get better,
Right.
it's being counterproductive as well. You should be able to play in your own state
Right.
to get better.
No, it makes a whole lot of sense. Yeah. So I guess V, kind of getting back to let's jump into the Super Bowl. Talk about that experience. I know that had to be such overwhelming, but I mean, obviously fun, but very
Yeah.
overwhelming experience.
Well, my role for the Super Bowl weekend was different. It's a little bit more of a fun side and get to go do meet and try different events and stuff. And so, like, when I got there, I mean, it was late, and everything was a very celebrated type thing. So the first night was, well, the first morning was waking up and going to Radio Row, right? And I'd never even heard of it. So did some research, looked at it, and literally it's Radio Row. So it was just station after station, podcast after podcast. And so we were signed up to talk to about 3 to 4 different podcasts and just talk about football. Like we did one with like moms where we met Christian McCaffrey's mom and her partner on the podcast. We did some with some of the boys behind the mask. We did a Nickelodeon one, and it was just talking football. So that was just kind of fun, kind of like what we're doing here. Didn't feel anything stressful in like Pro Bowl coaching prep and like how much is expected of me, how much do I just sit back and like let Eli and DeMarcus do his thing. So I wasn't too stressed out the Super Bowl weekend. I'd probably say the most stress I had was, do I look okay for the red carpet? I mean, that's a big deal. So everyone sees me as on the football field and PE teacher, and this is pretty much my business clothes. This is what I wear today to work.
Right.
But I do love getting dressed up and getting dolled up a little bit. So it was fun to do it, but it's also kind of stressful. I was like, does this fit? Does this work? Does these heels? This hair? This makeup? And Nicole did my makeup. I borrowed a outfit from my friend because I'm wearing it one time. I'm not going to spend thousands of dollars or something, but it worked, and their cameras are amazing. So
made you look great.
I appreciate it.
The camera was right on her. Like, my grandma, I talk to her all the time, and she picks up on flag, and she's like, "Hey, that's the lady you played with at the Cowboy Stadium, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah," because we played one time, and I told her all about it. But she's like, "That is so cool," and she just loves seeing women grow and so she thought that was the coolest thing ever that you were on TV.
Yeah, when I saw it, I think I made a text Nate. I was like, dude, I texted them. I was like, bro, I just seen V on TV. I said, V about to blow up. I said, if she don't know it now, she about to blow up. She better be on the lookout, because I was like, dang, that is crazy. Like, just see, just you from a Lone Star perspective out there just playing, that's kind of where I first saw you at anyways, playing Lone Star. And I was like, golly, now you see this woman, she's on TV, playing flag football,
at the NFL honors.
At the NFL honors, the Super Bowl. I'm like, this must be a great experience. It must bring you so much joy, like just to kind of see where you started and where you are at this point in life. It must be.
Oh, 1,000%. I thought the highest stage we could accomplish at one stage was in 2018 in Panama at the gold medal game, and we were the first team to win. I thought that was the highest stage and the highest high from flag football. And I was, when we won that game, took a knee and I cried and we all just kind of clapped. So I was just like, wow, we're here.
Yeah.
And then, come 4 or 5 years later, it's like, holy cow, wow, we're here. And we're walking NFL honors, red carpet. We're coaching at the Pro Bowl. They flew me out for the Super Bowl. Freaking Kelly Clarkson just shouted out my name and the camera's all in my face. How do I say hi to the TV? Do I look away? Do I look at it? I'll just throw up the deuces. Hey. And, this camera's just staring at it. So it's like I'm amongst like these greats. I was 2 rows from Jim Kelly. I, dapped up with Barry Sanders, and I rubbed elbows and arms with Emmitt Smith in the elevator. So you're just kind of like, holy cow. Like, I'm not one of them, but I feel like one of them right now. So it's such a different flag football high that you didn't know.
The cheeks probably were hurting like when you got back. Like, man, I've been smiling like crazy for the last week.
Yeah,
it's pretty dope.
Sure.
What was the most like the best experience when it comes to the Super Bowl, like in the NFL honors? What was the best experience for you?
The NFL honors part of it, since that's what you asked, I thought Kelly Clarkson's monologue was amazing. It was so funny. I love that she did, go in on the boys and said, but I love them so I can. And then it felt really cool that she said my name and the camera flashed on. And so like everybody at home really did get to see like, holy cow, that's our V. We know her. And so it's just cool when the students are like, I saw you, and getting emails from parents and things. So that was probably the coolest thing. But then just to be there and relax in the audience and listen to all these awards and hear these stories. I mean, I didn't expect to get teary-eyed. I'm not really a cry person, but when Hamlin came out and that story and they showed the conversation between the ER and stuff like that, the medics, I was like, wow, and goosebumps and crying.
Yeah,
and
I got goosebumps on that.
Yeah, and then when Dak came out and he talked about his story and what he's gone through with his mom and his brother, it was like, holy cow! It's football, but it's so
much
much
more.
bigger than football.
It makes
too.
it makes to the outside world, as we always see that, oh man, we can't wait for them to play on Sunday or Saturdays. It makes us know like they are human.
Yeah.
They're not just football players. Like they're human as
Yeah.
well. Like so they, it's a different side, and that's cool that you got to experience that.
Yeah.
So, what's going to be your favorite Super Bowl moment?
My favorite.
Did you have to go to the game, right?
Yeah, man, that's
what's-
a hard one because
Probably
seeing
Rihanna, man.
Rihanna
Well,
was
let's say-
awesome.
Let's say top three. Top three.
Okay.
Top three.
Okay. Top three. Great seats and experienced the NFL tailgate private party, seeing Rihanna, and when I had not seen the commercial yet, I'd heard about, like, they told me it was done. They emailed me and they said, hey, here's the link. You can post this after it airs. So I had the option to watch it and I chose not to.
Mhm.
And so the fact that right out, like, I'm over here just enjoying Rihanna. There was a cool show. She's pretty
Yeah.
much floating into space. And then boom, Rihanna ends. And literally 90 seconds later, my phone blows up. And I'm
Mhm.
like, what is going on? It's like buzz, 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 buzz. My watch is like thump, 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 thump. And I was like, holy cow. And I was like, I don't want to read this, but I kind of saw like the snippet preview and it was like, I just saw you. And I was like, what? I thought we were going to see it here first in the game before you did. So I ended up getting like 230 messages of just love and support from all across, the country and the world, like from multiple friends and Facebook DMs and Instagrams. And so it took me a while to show my love and appreciation, but I went through every single message and said thank you or hearted it or liked it. Took a while, but I think those are meaningful connections that mean a lot to me. And
Yeah.
showing
So you
genuine
didn't see it
connection.
in this actual stadium? Like they didn't play it?
Not at the time the world saw it.
Okay.
Mm.
We saw it, I want to say, really at the beginning of the fourth quarter because I kept anticipating the third quarter. But I think what I misunderstood was they were saying it's going to show during the third quarter-ish to the world. And I thought it was going to show during the third quarter to the game and inside the game. So I saw it in the fourth quarter.
It's so cool how they we see it on TV, but in live it's totally different. Why
Yeah.
everyone's there?
Yeah, I think I watched the live. I guess you could say it wasn't live, but the live view of Diana watching it in the stadium. And I thought that was just so amazing, man. Just to see the joy in her face from seeing herself up there. I thought the commercial, like the commercial itself, was just. It was over the top. Like the quality of the commercial was great. I think the concept behind the commercial was great. Like I literally was just sitting on the edge of my bed, just like, oh my God, this is so crazy. Like to see, for me, like I've met Diana before, but it was just like crazy to see her on TV. And it's like, man, look at this. This is crazy. So yeah, I thought that was a really, really great commercial for sure. I know it had to have been great for you.
No, it was definitely a great commercial. I don't know if you guys realized it finished number 2.
I
didn't know
thought it was number 1. I'm just gonna keep it real. I thought it was number 1.
It was the best one.
It was the best one.
It was the
for
best
me.
one.
Maybe because we connected
Maybe
to
it's because
Flag.
we know
Yeah.
Flag.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it definitely, I think, is executed and showed a great story of number 1. But sometimes it's just really hard to beat puppies and babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I started advertising at SMU and they always said puppies and babies always win. And a freaking puppy commercial, a dog commercial beat us for number 1 spot. So no, we ended up finishing number 2. And the commercial shoot itself was really cool and fun. It was just interesting to see what pieces they took together to tell the story.
Right.
Because I was telling my friends and I was like, man, I kind of wondered how they were going to use the drone footage, but there was never a drone footage because when we were running, when Bella was running and I was running and Diana was running, I think the story I was trying to tell was Bella was going through the same story that you saw Diana going through, juking people, right? And then Diana was the one that was visible, juking people. And I had like a mob of people chasing me from having juked them. And I think we were merging into come together.
Oh, okay.
And I think some people
yeah.
missed that, but there's like a mob of people chasing us from all of
I
our
saw that.
streets.
Yeah.
So I thought the drone footage would be kind of cool to see, like, it was like almost like The Walking Dead, but The Running Dead, like after your flags and stuff.
Gotcha.
So it was funny.
So when did y'all shoot that?
Literally right after Tampa.
Right
I
after-
got an email that invited me to come be a part of it. And I was like, holy cow. And I was
Yeah.
like, man, this Tampa sunburn is going to
Yeah.
look quite unique on this camera and this
Yeah.
HD. And so I flew back into Dallas. I think I had like a day in Dallas working because it was MLK weekend. And then I flew out Wednesday, shot on Thursday, I think back Friday or something. So
So it was like an all-day shoot.
I just had to be there for the ending part of it.
Okay.
For Diane, I think she went straight from Tampa to LA and shot all day because there was a lot of moving pieces with having to do a part with Billie Jean and a part with, Adams. with Jim Kelly in it and Mr. Beast. And I was like, who's Mr. Beast? And my kids are all like, you
Yeah,
met
he was
Mr.
in there.
Beast? And I was
Yeah.
like, who is that?
Yeah, I remember seeing him in there.
But yeah, there's a lot of moving parts. So she started the shoot a lot earlier. And then Bella and I think came in on the last day to do the running scene. So
Yeah, before we
cool.
jump too far, you mentioned work. How have you been able to manage that, like with work and just this life? I'm sure you got to pay bills and stuff like that. So I'm thinking, like, how do you manage this? Like,
Well, I've been teaching for 19 years.
Oh,
so
they gonna take care of you
I
then.
have plenty of
Vacation time.
I have plenty of vacation time that
Yeah.
I use, and my principal in my district is amazing with supporting. Like, you have a unique opportunity, and so you're kind of the only person in the country doing this,
right.
and there's no way we're not going to support you. So we make it work. My teammates are amazing with art, music, PE, health, and fitness. They're amazing, and they have my back. The students will get a little upset, but they're so excited when I get back. And they're like, Coach V, we missed you. We thought you left us. And I'm like, no, I would not leave you guys. And so it's work has been, I just feel bad missing them
Yeah.
and them not being there for them. But overall, in the support detail and paying the bills, yeah, I'm losing some money in terms of work, but
Right.
the experience and the memories
Yeah.
and the connects is like, it's priceless.
Yeah,
you know?
you can't get that experience back. That's one you got to take that
Yeah.
opportunity. when
We don't know if
it's
this is
presented
going to happen next
to-
year.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna-
You don't know. You don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah, that's crazy.
So what gifts or surprises have you brought back to your students every time you leave? Do you bring something back to them, or
Yeah, myself. No, I don't bring him back any gifts, but in the sense of like, I did bring him something super duper special. But usually I share them with my story, show them some pictures, and they're
Mhm.
super excited about, knowing that I met CeeDee Lamb or Dak, because since, we're a Dallas team, they know the Cowboy names a lot more. Of course, everybody knows Justin Jefferson. So they're all like, Coach V, I can teach you how to gritty. I was like, no, at this point, I'm just going to embrace the broke gritty. And just, I'm fine with that. So a lot of pictures and memories and stories I'll share with them, and I know that inspires them because a lot of the girls will come and be like, I want to do that when I grow up. I didn't know I could. So that's always rewarding. But recently, I really did bring them back a gift for our PTA. We had a situation that happened where some money was missing in our PTA account, a big chunk, like $40K.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to help bring back and raise money for them. And so since I was in close connect to Eli, I told Eli about the situation, and I said, "Hey, do you mind signing this hat for my kids and for the PTA? I'm gonna donate to auction and let it auction off." And Eli's like, "Oh my gosh, it's terrible." Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And so he signed the hat. I put it in a little Ziploc baggie. We're gonna put a case for it. It's gonna go up in auction and hopefully help raise some extra funds for the school because the kids need to go on field trips. They need those experiences, and I'm here. I'll do what I can.
That's
It was
awesome.
hard to
Yeah.
part with it. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. I started to doubt myself. I was like, no, but I was like, you know what? The memories are priceless, and this has a good cause for them.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's a beautiful thing that you're doing. And that'll take me into something I want to bring up. You also do I think Pay It Forward. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Is that the name of it? Yeah.
Well, no, the name is called Forward Apparel.
there it is. Forward
The
Apparel.
hashtag, kind of like the Just Do It of Nike, is Pay It Forward with the number 4. Everything about my life is shaped by the 4 in weird ways. I feel like it was all meant to be and brought together as a 4, and why I wear it and how I was shaped and impacted by it. So yeah, definitely Pay It Forward by Forward Apparel.
That's awesome.
Gotcha. Where can people find that?
ForwardApparel.com, number 4, and then WARD apparel.com. Or I can just do custom stuff for people and they can just DM me and hit me up. I'm still trying to get better with it, with trying to wear so many hats, being a full-time teacher, being the daycare director. I'm at work 12 hours a day. And so then trying to run like this small business, and this small business is not anything to say, hey, it's a get rich ploy. It's just a passionate thing I feel about giving back to the community and different people the way I was brought up, where we couldn't afford a $2,000 AAU club membership. So I had families and people scholarship me in. And that's kind of what my mission is with Pay It Forward, is to be able to take the platform I have, make some money, design, because I love design. That's why advertising was my major. Design, create things, sell things, take the money, pay it forward, and kind of just do what others did to get me where I am. So yeah.
And I know you also have a new league. You want to talk about that?
My new adult social
Yeah.
league, yeah.
Talk about that.
Tuesday nights in Carrollton, the Ivy League. It's funny because it's school related, and we say that game times are class times, and people can be in detention, and we're getting some partnerships with like this crack brisket and I Grill Leechin. I just talked to Bruce today about a little bit of So Icy connection, and we're gonna like give a scholarship to an athlete to play free the next season. So it's just a fun 8-on-8 adult league. We play so much football in the tournament world that's like stressful. You better win. You better win.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
watching you. It's target on your back. And it's an honor to have a target on your back. But dang, sometimes I just want to let my hair down and just, you know what? I messed up. It's okay. But we're out here to have fun, play a little bit more relaxed football. So it's just a social league that we brought in Carrollton.
So now that you've had an opportunity to go be Super Bowl, Pro Bowl, and that stuff, do we expect to see you at any tournaments still playing?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. That's good.
The end goal for all of this, guys, is football first. Like, I
Yeah.
want to play. I mean, being the face of it right now in this movement, totally cool. Honored, grateful for it, right, in this platform. But I'm a baller. Like, I still want to play. I still want to throw touchdowns. Nobody lets me play defense anymore. Don't know why. 'Cause
Right.
I'm pretty darn good.
You've been playing it
Tell me
sometimes.
you.
No, I know.
At some of them terms, I
But
see
everyone
you
wants
play it.
everyone wants to park this classic car in the garage and not drive me, but
Wow.
I want to be driven sometimes. So, anyways, tournaments for sure. Like, we're playing in Rise Up tomorrow.
Gotcha.
There's the So Icy barbecue and Ford Apparel one that's going in
Okay.
March. I plan to play in Arlington. I plan to play in USA Football the One series. There's just so much going on. It's almost like we need to have a shared Google link
Right.
that says these are the calendar. These are the
Yeah.
tournaments. Don't start. You're like I can do it.
We know
Nate's
this
like,
guy
I got
can do
that.
it. He's gonna
Try
keep up with
anything.
everything.
Yeah.
So,
And speaking of Cassie's tournament, I think is it Cassie's or it might be Corey Webb's tournament where there's a new format that you kind of implemented.
yeah, again, school related, right?
Yeah.
No, it's called the Playground,
Yeah.
and really, my whole mission behind it is I would love to develop more female quarterbacks, but they're just not that many.
Yeah.
And so people like Ava or myself or Candace, who are frequent female quarterbacks, can find girls all the time. But the pool of flag football has 80% non-quarterback people that would love to play, and they're only playing co-ed mainly or in a men's
Mhm.
division, which is great. I'm not knocking any of those, but sometimes you want to play against your peers where if you
Mhm.
ran a post-corner post on a girl, some free safety Frankie can't come down and bat it
Right,
out
right.
or hawk it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, no, I burned you, and you just straight up got burned.
Yeah.
But then you don't have a girl who quite can get the ball there to them yet. So to me, the Playground was developed to allow offensive and defensive players to continue playing and growing and bettering their skills, their route running, and having a deliverable ball by a male quarterback, but he's restrained from certain rules. The adaptation to it is a all-women's team can enter, but she would just have the same rules as a restrained QB1 male,
Mhm.
meaning she can't take off past line of scrimmage, she can't get lateral, she's a strictly pocket quarterback. Kind of in a way, the way aired out is where the girl just has to throw. So it's kind of like an aired out women's team in the Playground. But I just feel like so many people have had a lot more fun. I've seen a lot of girls out there playing more football because they have a chance to make a catch,
So-
get a good ball.
So the guy doesn't play defense at all?
Only if he throws a pick.
Oh, okay. So he doesn't. He's not normally on the defensive side of the ball.
No.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's cool. He pretty much. Oh, he's not all time
He's-
quarterback, but he's the all time quarterback for that team. That's
Yeah.
all he does.
Yeah.
It's,
he's
it's
just
kind
a
of like
pro.
being a PE teacher at recess. You
Yeah.
know, when people like go out there and like, oh, I'm the all-time QB because there's that one kid who can actually make good throws.
Right.
It's kind of like that. So it's the Playground. We're at the Playground, have fun, run some routes and stuff. But no, he can't do anything but pull a flag. And I know USA Flag is doing their version of it, which is
Mhm.
totally fine, but they're sending a male rusher. To me, I was kind of finding that disrespectful because I'm like, that female rusher can put just as much pressure
Right,
on a
right.
male
Yeah.
quarterback
Yeah.
that he's
I
still
agree.
going to get rid of the
Absolutely.
ball in 2.2
Job.
seconds. You can't sit back there
There's some
'cause-
good ones out there.
Yeah, exactly. There's we have the 5-second rule in 5-man. You can't dance around for 5 seconds on a female rusher. She's still
No.
amazing. So it's an all-girls game, all-girl defense, all-girl offense. That one male quarterback, if a team utilizes to use a male quarterback.
Yeah, I think I like the way you got it. I do. I've heard a lot of good things, but I haven't played it myself. I haven't really had a whole lot of time to play as much as I like, but I've heard a lot of great things about it, and I think it's kind of one of the up and coming formats. It's probably going to be more of a standard format here real soon.
Because it's been going to a lot of more cities too. I see it in San
Yeah.
Antonio. It's out in the West Coast with Show Your Right Zone.
Yeah, it's going there. And what's really kind of crazy about it is like you'd love the patent idea and get a percentage, but you can't, and it's fine because really I just want women to grow and play more football. So yeah, Show You Right's going to have it. We're going out there February 25th. I'll be out there doing it. Jason Smith from the Weekend Warrior,
Mhm.
he actually, it was super cool and classy. He DM'd me. He's like, hey, V, I'm thinking about running a playground out here. Do you mind? And I was like, no, it's more football for people. And what's really cool that he's going to do is he's going to take the fees and give me a portion to take and pay it forward, because that's kind of the end goal with all this is like, I just want to keep growing the game and leaving kindness and growing all that. And so, and then Seminole football from San Antonio is trying to run a league and a tournament with it. Rise Up took it on. Corey gave me a chance to do it in barbecue. Bruce wants to do it. And so I'm like, no, that's super cool.
Yeah.
That's great. I like hearing that. I like hearing new formats, and I like the growth of the game. Speaking on the growth, what will it take for us in Dallas to get, which I don't know how you do this, but either NFL league for youth is in the girls, or get it into more high schools? What can we do to even, who do we talk to? Like, is it superintendents? Is it athletic directors to get the game in the high schools for women?
I think it's going to be definitely all of the above, right? You got to talk to the principals. You got to talk to the superintendents. You got to talk to UIL. They're a stickler. But I think, honestly, with the visibility that it's getting right now from the NFL, bringing it on the stage through the Pro Bowl, through the commercial, and all the social media shares and shout outs, I think the visibility is going to show attraction and interest. And there is something in the works in my back pocket. I'm not sure I can speak of it, so I'm not going to.
Yeah, no, you're good.
But there's going to be hopefully some extra visibility for youth flag football and more opportunities for the girls. But that's all I can say there.
Yeah,
she just gave a hit on our show. First time here first.
Hey, I personally don't think there's a whole lot more we need to do, to be honest with you, with everything that's went on in, over the last month or so. Like with the NFL having that Pro Bowl game, I think that put a lot of people on notice, and that put flag. The commercial itself put flag up here. Now that's on the front of everybody's head at this point. So I don't know that there's a whole lot we need to do, but continue to do what we're doing and keep stacking on top of that, to be honest with you. What do you think?
I personally would like to see like an NFL regional from the Dallas Cowboys, because I know like the Houston Texans have one. But again, like Texas, everyone, Dallas is America's team. So I personally would like to see that happen.
Dude, I've been wondering the same thing. I reached out to, I forgot who it was. I was just like, how do we get a Dallas Cowboys regional here? Like, I don't know if that's something maybe who runs the Cowboy Stadium tournament. Dennis needs to have a conversation with. You're already holding a tournament there. That could be a Cowboys regional right there.
I'm pretty sure Matt's tried. But again, like, especially now with the exposure in the video, with the commercial, I do hope, in either 2023, 2024, that regional, because like I said, right now the only regional for NFL flag is in Texas is the Houston Texans one, but that's not until like the second half of the year.
I don't even know if there's one this year though.
Well, they just only for NFL flag they've only announced like the spring league. Yeah.
Okay.
I think they've only announced like the first 9.
Gotcha. Yeah. There's only a few, because I was looking at it earlier and I didn't see any Texas ones on there. I could have been wrong. I don't know. So.
But hey, can I add on what you said? Go ahead. I definitely agree with you. There's not much more that we need to do on a connection and visible standpoint. I mean, you got the powerhouse behind you. You got the Nike of athletics behind you, aka the NFL, right? So everyone knows that. Everyone saw that. The whole world saw that, and it's still being shared and shout out to this day. I don't think anyone's talking about the dog commercial now.
No,
it's just,
not at all.
And maybe it's just because I'm in tune to the flag world. So I just want us flag people to celebrate our game being on that stage. And words were so much nicer from the commercial of like, I understand. Everyone's like, well, why not the USA boys, this and this? Well, Bruce said it very well. USA men have tackle to watch, right?
Yeah.
But in flag world, he said it's girls. That's what people want to see. So that's what they're going to sell and make visible. And so there's a lot of people who are excited and celebrating that flag has been announced and shown on this stage by them. But there's some people who I just don't think realize what we should be celebrating, which is exactly that. Celebrate flag. They're showcasing the game that we love and pour our sweat, and tears and money and injuries into. But I was just like, I was so thrown back. And I get it. I wasn't surprised, but it just was like, I was so thrown back when there were so many polls of like, we could beat the Pro Bowl guys, right? That's great. but this game wasn't about you.
Right.
This was a party weekend
Right.
about
Yeah.
the guys who beat up their body all season. Let's celebrate
An
them
opportunity
and
to
let
have fun.
boys be boys and have
Right.
fun.
Right.
It may not look like our flag football, but it's flag football that they're bringing to the stage. So let's celebrate that and not celebrate, I bet we can beat them.
Yeah.
But I didn't chime into that because I don't play politics too much.
Yeah. I saw that,
That
that
was a
politic
big
going
comment.
around.
Yeah,
I'm
that
like,
was. I was seeing like 200 comments.
these
I was like,
guys
"There's
is-
no way."
It's easy to say that. It's easy to say that until you got to line up against
Until you
Justin
gotta guard 'em.
Jefferson, Justin
I mean, you
Jefferson, Jamar Chase. Come
Sounds
on
good
now.
until you got to play.
Tyreek
You
Hill.
give them 2 or 3 tournaments a month like we get and play each other. Let's see what happens then. But when you've played 10 years, the last 10 years of your life, and this is their first time, yeah, you probably will. But if we equal the playing field,
Right.
it's
That's like
not a
saying
match.
you can go beat them at tackle football.
Exactly. Nobody said
Yeah.
that.
You ain't gonna go beat them at tackle football. Come on now.
You ain't gonna
gotta-
say line it up. I'll let you jam me. That ain't, that ain't gonna work.
These guys are crazy. But I do agree with what you said about flag. We should be celebrating just this glorious moment for flag football in general. We're not going to segregate it and say, oh, well, the girls are getting this much attention. The boys should be getting this attention. You know, they actually won the gold or whatever the case. We shouldn't be celebrating that aspect of it. We shouldn't be segregating. We should be really just happy that flag is on this stage, man. It's like we've never seen flag.
It's on national television, yo. Like,
Dude, when I was there, I'm sitting on the sideline, man. I kid you not, man. I got chills, dude. I almost cried, man. I just sit there and I watched it. I've poured a lot of my time and energy into this game over the last 6-7 years, and I sit there and I watch, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, they're out there playing flag. I'm like, dude, like this is coming to life. Like it's really here at the NFL Pro Bowl. The NFL players are playing flag football. It just did something for me. I couldn't stop smiling, man. It's just such a glorious moment, man, and it almost felt like, hey, we did it. Like we're here.
Yeah.
We made it to this point. So that's just something that just kind of stuck with me. I always have that memory in my head. And like, dang, finally made it here. Before we run out of time here, did want to kind of just talk to you about your future. What does your future look like? Whether it's this coming months, this coming year, what do you have in plan?
My short-term future is to still stay in shape, to still play football.
Right.
I'm not trying to hang up the cleats anytime soon. I think the soonest I would even consider hanging up the cleats would be 2029.
That would be
The
the
Olympics.
That
right
would
after the
be
Olympics.
After
After
the
the
Olympics.
Olympics.
So what we're
After the
saying
gold
is
medal.
go to the Olympics, win the gold medal. We riding out like Tom Brady. We out of here. Is
Well,
that
I'm
what-
going to be smarter than Tom
I was
Brady.
saying, he didn't ride out like that.
You gonna go out the first time? You gonna go out the first time, or you gonna come back?
No, he came back. I'm like, we're not gonna pull him and Jordan.
Okay,
We're just
okay.
gonna be done with
We
it and
just-
be like, no. And again, we don't know if it's gonna get there. We all hope it does. That'll
Right.
be the next high of flag football. Of like, where can this game take us? It's already taken us places we couldn't imagine. So hopefully it does. I don't know. The supporters are behind it, and they just let them do their work. And we just got to be positive people, happy to celebrate the game of flag football. So, to answer your question, continue playing.
Mhm.
I feel like I will always have to earn my stripes and keep my stars. I don't think me being on Team USA is a given. And some people think, oh, you're always going to be that. You're the GOAT V. You're this and that. I was like, I don't care what I am. I still have to produce. I still got to throw. I still got to do this. So I'm always going to stay hungry and work hard. So that's going to be the ultimate goal that's obtainable, and to be continuously selected to represent USA and play in the IFAF championships and so forth. Get back that gold medal, that one that
Gotcha.
slipped from us. Just that one.
Just speaking of that, how
Just that freaking one.
How
Is
was
that
that?
one
How was
sting?
that?
Is that one sting
I know
the
that was
world?
stings.
Because it's like your gold medal over in Israel and then
And Panama.
in Panama. And then you get the World Games. Does that one sting the most?
Got to be. It was here.
Absolutely.
It
That
was
one stings.
home.
That one stings the most because it's home. It's on a huge stage. We know what it means, and you've worked so hard on what we've been saying. This football high, like how could it get it? And now it's in the freaking World Games. This is like the little brother of the Olympics, you know. And so you're getting a for real heavy duty real medal with other athletes in kind of the athlete village. And so it stung hard. And if I have to be transparently honest, I'll have to face this soon, which is fine. It's part of growing the game, but I have not watched that game to this day. Like it pops up on YouTube feeds and thumbnails. I'm like, swipe, not right now. Swipe, not right now. So it stings for that one to be our first loss. There are some behind the scene things that kind of irk you a little bit that I won't go into too much details that the world doesn't know because you can only see what's presented on social media streams.
Right.
But again, to me, at the point when you get in between the lines, nothing else matters. You just got to perform.
Yeah.
And when that one touchdown from myself to Chris Daniels gets taken back from them impeding, it was such a momentum killer that we just could not shake and get out of. And from there, literally everything went downhill, and it was just hard. Because if you go on top of somebody, their whole game plan changes. They're chasing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I got so frustrated, I ended up being the one who messed us off and threw the pick six. And so now our game plan changes, and we're chasing, and it just wasn't. It wasn't the team we really are. It just sucks that was the one that was televised, and that's all people have to go off of. Because there were some other really good games beforehand that represents, the team and what coach did and what I did and what the defense did. But it's just kind of like, it is what it is. You know what you did on the inside, and it doesn't have to be shown.
Yeah, and that's probably why you haven't
anybody.
watched it, because you're a quarterback, you're a competitor, you're a leader. You're watching it all the time in your head. Like, this could have been done differently.
Yeah.
You could have, but no, I definitely understand. Being a quarterback and being a pioneer in flag football, is there any a prodigy that you can see coming in the future, taking over as a quarterback for USA after you're right off in the sunset
in 2029? There's some really, really great, talented girls, and I know we're talking in quarterback terms. The constant names in it right now are Marley, of course, and Ava. Ava will be a little bit younger behind Marley. Marley's doing great things, and she's learning the game, and she's been playing since a kid too, because of Florida high school football and things like that. I think there's some talent quarterback life that I talked about Monique Thame in ATL, but she's just a crazy utility freak athlete that she just doesn't quite know what position she's going to excel in and be elite at yet. So when she kind of figures that out and tunes in, I think she'll be very unstoppable. But I think a lot of people sleep on some of the quarterbacks up in the DMV area, like Clack and things like that. I'm like, and if those girls would transition over to learn the speed game of flag football and develop the IQ, I wouldn't go into the contact world and be like, oh, I know totally what I'm doing. I'd have to relearn this format. And I feel like if those girls took the time to come into fives and relearn this format, since it's the one that's taking off, there's going to be some competition there. But again, football grew up with just Shantae and I for a long time in our eyes, and suddenly it's so many players. So I'm sure there's a lot out there that we just don't know or haven't seen yet. Yeah. But the visibility of what it's been brought to, I'm sure they're going to start coming out the woodworks and showing that what they got too, and more developing at a young age to be ready for 2020, 2032.
2032. Cool.
And even like you said, Brian, there's going to all of those ladies going to college for NIA too.
Yeah.
So you gotta, they're going to college to play football. So again, that's going to be their advantage is they're going there, they're studying, they're working out, they're playing football. So there's a whole nother crop as well on top of everyone else who's playing.
Some young ladies that we haven't even seen yet because they're in college playing it. What do they play in college? Is it
Sevens.
5-man, sevens?
7 on 7.
So is it a different from IFAF is 5 or 7?
5.
Five,
5 on
okay.
5, 4 downs. And sevens is rush right off the line, which is a totally different game. You can use blocking.
Gotcha. Oh wow, yeah, that's different.
So that's going to still be something that they'd have to transition
learning
to.
curve.
as well,
So I guess my concern was why wouldn't they play whatever IFAF would be like in college? I guess. As opposed to playing,
I guess
just
you have to
like
think: is your end goal to make USA football? Is your
Yeah.
end goal to give more opportunities to young girls and carry a team of 15, 16, or carry a team of 10?
Yeah,
so
7 you
Because
get
down-
more.
yeah,
You get to
'cause-
carry more.
Because down in Florida, Florida's always been
scholarships
7 on 7.
opportunities. Yeah,
Yeah.
gotcha. I guess we mostly play 5s here in Texas. That's what we used to.
That's a recent division.
Yeah.
It wasn't before 5s. It was 4 on 4.
4-on-4.
Yeah,
that was.
I tried that one.
I don't know. I don't know if y'all
all
knew that, but back in the day when all this was starting, it was 4 on 4, and blackout was killing. And based on stories through Black, Derek Jackson, he's gonna hate I said that, but based on stories with Black, Dennis was very big with flag football X and doing things, and so he kind of created a 5 on 5 division. Let me get an extra defender out there, and this could be false, but from the perspective of Blackout, the team. Dennis created 5 on 5, and 5 on 5 took off. And maybe it's already going on in the world, but Dennis and Blackout kind of created the 5 on 5 in Dallas, which is interesting because it really was just 4 on 4 for the longest for them. That's how I grew up in Rockwall doing it. Was 4 on 4 men's football. Yeah.
Yeah, I tried that before. I didn't like it. It's weird, but that's me. I'm an amateur. I'm not a pro.
Until you can't hide anybody on 4-on-4.
Right,
You
no.
better have ballers for all of that.
those skills
I was
will
getting
be
exposed on defense.
Everybody stopped playing 4-on-4 because I got too good at it.
You got too good at it.
You
Nobody
got
could
good
guard
at
me.
it? From Ohio, huh?
Yeah,
Ain't
from
no
Ohio.
football there?
Dayton, Ohio.
I ain't never seen Nate catch a football.
I
I seen him pull a flag.
Vanita throw.
Oh, did
Yeah.
you?
Yeah,
Okay.
down in leagues when you
Nate
play
might
together.
catch kind of awkward sometimes, but he'll
Does-
I'll
you
catch
get the
ball,
job
though.
done. It's all that matters.
Yeah.
At
No
least
matter
he
how you
catch it.
do
We
it, as
coulda
long
won
as
a-
you do it.
We could have won a championship. One of our teammates caught the ball. V threw him, but that's
Dre. I
yeah.
remember
He
that.
dropped
In
it.
Cowboys?
Yeah, Cowboys.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was
Why
a
no?
dime.
That was a tough.
Man,
That was a tough.
that hurt.
Say his name again so he can hear it.
Oh, he gonna know. We know we come all the time.
Cool. So, last thing before we wrap up, what is your, I guess you can say, your advice to any young athlete, young woman, whatever you want to give to, that are interested in playing flag football, or just not even just flag football, just being an athlete in general?
It's kind of funny because I've been saying, like, when people ask me this question, my answer is always like, do it and do it all.
Mm-hmm.
Do it all. Do it every day. Do it against older, younger men, women. I don't care. The more play, the more repetition you get. It's just only going to make you a better player in the whole grand scheme of things. So, I talk about I played 9 seasons in a week, every day of the week, twice, 2 leagues on a Saturday, 2 leagues on a Sunday. And so I just played a lot of football and just putting in, what they say with the Steve Jobs 10,000 hour, the 10,000.
Yeah,
rule.
10,000 hours. Yeah, I heard that.
I feel like I might be past 10,000 because I played so much early on.
Yeah.
So I just say for like any advice is like there's no reason why you can't, especially when we've talked about flag football being so inclusive. So do it all, do it every day, do it as much as you can. Don't let anyone tell you can't. I went to go pick up some shirts at a warehouse today to go drop off for the Ivy League and get printed. And this lady was like, "I've been waiting for you. I just saw you in the commercial." I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then the other lady was kind of starstruck and didn't want to say anything. But I went to my car, came back because I wanted to ask about something. And the lady was like, she wants to ask you a question. And the reason why I bring this up is because she has a daughter who's 12. And they told her daughter, "You're wasting your time playing. There's nowhere to go with this." And I said, "That's a darn lie. There's a lot of places to go with this. And even if it doesn't go to a college level, which we know it does, it's creating a great human on and off the field for the things you learn and face and the adversity you deal with as an athlete in any sport. You learn teamwork, you learn how to handle conflict and drama and, just stay a healthy person. And that's winning in life. Like you may not win a game or may have somewhere to go, but I think a life winner is way better than just a flag football winner,
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
So
Cool.
do it all.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that advice. I'm gonna pass that advice down to my daughter whenever she's of age to play. She ain't ready yet, but as soon as she's ready to play, I hope she can grow up and be as talented as you are on the football field for sure. Because you are definitely a beast. I give you that. I mean, when I first started playing, I was like, I can't stand this girl. She's just too damn good. Like she's just too good. Like she's always got the best players. She's just amazing. And,
But that's a lie.
But now I'm like.
Man, I have to,
Okay, my
I
bad.
have to
I can't
defend
say
that statement.
Oh, defend it. I'm sorry. Okay, go
That
ahead.
statement is a darn lie,
Yeah.
especially in the social leagues. And it was like, she just
Yeah.
got the best players around her. Or I've heard little rumors like, I steal players. No, I
Yeah,
don't. I've
yeah.
had, if we're playing in Florida Nationals, QC Elite girls played with QC,
Mhm.
Venom played with Venom, so-and-so played with so. But if we're going to Mexico and these girls aren't going, why wouldn't I ask them to go? Right.
Right.
So we traveled together, we created a friendship, enjoyed each other, and eventually, if they wanted to leave, that's on them. But I
Right.
didn't steal you. I helped give you more opportunities because we were one of the only teams back in the day, Adrenaline, traveling for
Yeah.
years before people did all of this stuff that we're doing now,
Yeah.
which is great. And then in the social world, since we met in kind of Lone Star life,
Uh-huh.
right? I think on paper, my team's not that strong. No offense to
Yeah.
my team. They're talented, but
They just old.
Some of them.
Some of them just old.
We call them experience.
Okay, we go experience
But
or
my,
veterans.
but my thing is, we played a smart game because it's so inclusive of a sport
Right,
that we
right.
can outsmart you, but maybe not outrun or outthrow, outjump you. There's no reason why I was being picked in top 5 quarterbacks versus men because I'm not bigger, faster, stronger, but they loved my IQ. They loved my patience. They loved my setup and dissecting, the defense and stuff. So it's like, no, and it's not about me. My co-ed teams are great, but no, we don't have a stacked team.
Yeah.
That is a false statement. My brother's almost 50, and I still pick him up, love him to pieces. My FOB team back in the day,
Yeah.
we were an all-Asian team that came from the poker hall. And
Oh,
no,
wow.
I didn't play poker, but they did, and they don't
Right.
play football, and we were winning, but that's just because we were patient. But people were like, "You're stacked." I was like, "No, we're not stacked.
They were out there killing
This
people.
team would suck in a combine right now."
Yeah.
But I love them. We had fun. We enjoyed playing for each other, and that's how. Or you can't mess up because you get made fun of, and I think that was motivation in flag football.
Yeah.
Like you get called out, like our friend in Cowboys when he dropped that dime.
Oh yeah,
That's right.
man, that was.
If you mess up, you just get caught out in the flag
Yeah.
world.
Get called out.
Yeah,
Just
So you
get
better
called
play
out.
perfect.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, hey, man, I just want to thank you and Nate for being on the show today. It's been great. It's been a great conversation. I feel like we really we let it all out today, and I appreciate you guys. Did you guys have anything else y'all wanted to say?
Yeah, I want to shout out Texas Fury, Amber Clam, Jason Clam, best CEOs in youth flag. So if you're looking for a flag team for your daughter, come out. We have a camp. And we have tryouts February 25th down
Where
in
at?
Austin. So
Okay, Austin.
check us out. They have a Facebook page. They have a Instagram, Texas Fury. But
Cool.
definitely come out. We got 10U, 12U, 14U, 17U team.
Okay, perfect. And you got Instagram, Facebook, just Texas Fury?
Yeah, it's Texas
It's
Fury.
The Texas Fury.
The
It's
Texas
the only
Fury.
Texas Fury out
Yeah.
there. Cool. All right, cool, man. I appreciate it. You got anything you wanna say?
Well, I mean,
V?
shoot, if he's shouting out Texas Fury, I need to shout out USA Football.
Let's do it.
I think, if you really want to play the game and make it to that stage, you really can. Just show up at the tournaments, log into their site, sign up for it, go to their combine type stuff, make yourself visible. I mean, they're offering so much more transparency and running their circuit of the one. So, hey, can you be the one? Come to it. You never know.
Gotcha. When's the first one? I think the trials are coming up, right?
April 1st is the first,
Yeah, it's April 1st. And
the one that anyone can play in and register, kind of like, a regular tournament
Okay.
under USA Football instead. For us, our tryouts are coming up March 11, 12, I believe.
3 weeks. Yeah,
Yeah.
in 3 weeks.
I'm
And
going to have to do the
where
L drill
exactly?
and the
Is it
40
here in Dallas?
in Charlotte.
In Charlotte. Okay.
Yeah, I think
okay.
we have a home base now in Charlotte where we're going to run all of our stuff now. So it's really cool. I'm just kind of nervous as heck that I have to go run the 40 and the L drill and the box jump and whatever else vertical. I'm like, it's kind of different for these knees, but okay.
Gotcha. Hey, that should be fun though. I wish I can do.
Oh, no,
one.
they don't
Come on,
need-
you
they
can
don't
see
need
what
to-
I really
We
got.
don't need to
kids
post
do
our
it, you can
scores.
do it.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to see what I can do right now. I know I ain't got much. I just want to see what I can do.
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, well, unless y'all got anything else, hey man, I appreciate y'all coming on today, and yeah, thank y'all.
Thank you for
Thank you.
joining the
All right,
sit down.
thanks,
I
guys.
appreciate you
Yeah,
guys.
thank you.